Well, again, we come to chapter 24 of the Screwtape letters. Screwtape is looking at the circle of that girl that our patient met in a previous chapter, the one that is causing all the trouble for Screwtape and Wormwood because of her way of life. He says he notices a chink in the armor that they're unable to get through, because she finds that she is part of this circle of people that consists in a quite untroubled assumption that the outsiders who do not share their belief are really stupid and ridiculous. What this is leading to is that idea that we'll go on the vice of spiritual pride, of, we have the answers. We're the only one, because we know you're too dumb to understand. You're too silly to understand what we understand. It really is coming to be like that Pharisee that we heard about in the Gospels, in the parable, who was getting up and proclaiming, "Oh God, this is everything I do, how wonderful I am, look at me, and thank you for not making me like this tax collector." But the tax collector is the one who's just saying, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." Jesus says his prayers were heard, not the pride of the Pharisee. I like the line that tells us, "It is always the novice who exaggerates. The man who is risen in society is over-refined, the young scholar, pedantic." Sometimes there's an old saying that I fear the man of one book. Somebody has read one particular book and suddenly thinks they're an expert on everything about it. Or they're an expert because that book says this. There are no other views, no other understandings that are out there. From my professional background, I always think about it as the book of canon law in the hands of a first-year seminarian. Of course, usually the first thing they turn to is go to the section and find out who's excommunicated and for what. But they fail to realize that there's a whole lot of other laws in the book that tell how to apply those particular laws. That those are understood in light of some other laws as they're described in the book. But the patient doesn't realize in this is that he's coming into this group, this very intelligent group, as a novice. They're far beyond him in his faith. They're far beyond him in his understanding. They're far beyond where he is. They bring him in and accept him because he is with the girl. And they'll bring him along as he goes along. But he has to be careful that he doesn't start to think that he is fully their equal. But yet he starts to see that this is the group to which I belong. We're told when he turns from them to other society, he'll find it dull, partially because almost any society within his reach is in fact much less entertaining, but still more because he'll miss the enchantment of the young woman. You must teach him to mistake this contrast between the circle that delights and the circle that bores him for the contrast between Christians and unbelievers. He must be made to feel, he better not put it into words, how different we Christians are. And by we Christians, he must really, but unknowingly mean my set. And by my set, he must mean not the people who in their charity and humility have accepted me, but the people with whom I associate by right. I do like that idea of saying he must feel. It's one of the challenges, I think, of our world today. How many people in forming an argument say, I feel that? Well, how do you argue with a feeling? How do you argue with what somebody is feeling? I feel sad. Well, you can't argue with somebody and say, well, no, you can't be sad. So we don't form arguments these days in the right way. I believe that, I hold that, I say, and with that, there can be some give and take. There can be an argument back and forth. Argument doesn't have to be, in the way I'm using it, some big fight, some screaming match, anything like that. But, a very intelligent exchange of ideas and discussion going back and forth. If we base all that we do on our feelings, we're really going in the wrong direction. Because again, feelings are something that are just there. We can't really do anything about them. Screwtape says, success here depends on confusing him. If you try to make him explicitly and professedly proud of being a Christian, you'll probably fail. The enemy's warnings are too well known. If, on the other hand, you let the idea of we Christians drop out altogether and merely make him complacent about his set, you'll produce not true spiritual pride, but merely social vanity, which by comparison is a trumpery, a puny little sin. Again, it's not the spiritual pride, but it's just saying, well, this is kind of my group. Aren't we wonderful? You know, it's not about his faith, but just about this group to which he belongs. And it's a puny little sin. But again, even the little ones, the devil's able to work with. Screwtape says, teach him, using the influence of this girl, when she is silliest. Again, the idea that Screwtape would have of silliest, to adopt an air of amusement at the things of the unbelievers. It is no affair of yours whether those stories are true or false. The great thing is to make Christianity a mystery religion, in which he feels himself to be one of the initiates. Again, that idea that Christianity is not some secret cult. It is not some group that only we can belong to. That's the point of why we evangelize. That's why we go out and bring others into the faith. We go out and share our faith with others. It's not merely meant for those who are already Christian, but again, the goal that we have is to take it out into the world. So again, any more questions? Please contact me at the parish at my parish email address, and I'll answer them either in a future session or in an email.